This might be the most stressed I've ever been in a movie theater since Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, Good Boy is a small indie project that could. Homegrown, it's simple enough with the premise, but with a really brilliant twist. A ghost story, but from a pup's POV. It's so genius, it's hard to believe that this is the first time it's ever been accomplished or it's ever been attempted, but to the best of my knowledge, that's correct. Now, the brilliance in this movie is both in the way it's shot, again from the perspective of a dog, but also how information is drip fed to the audience throughout the story. Because Indy's a dog, it would make sense for people to exposition dump, so we have to use context clues as to figure out what's going on. Again, it's a simple story because we need those context clues, but we go from there. Indy, our pup, and his owner retreat to a cabin in the woods. Not like that, but sort of like that. For context clues, we get the sense that our owner is sick. He is not okay, and as the movie goes on, we have a very clear picture as to why he is not okay. It's something wrong with him, but also something that's going on with the house. Now, I'll dive into spoilers soon, but I want to finish the praise for this film first before, people might click off. To start, this is a borderline thriller, as we're constantly worried for Indy and his surroundings, and the consequences of what he does. There are ghosts, spirits, and we see that there's more to it than simply it being a haunting. This feels like a real curse. Indy is a great pup, and you really see the emotion in this project. It's a great story, but a simple one. It's devastating, it's heartbreaking. You see the loyalty, it's just, there's so much there. There are moments where this movie feels like high art, but then you also have moments where the CGI is pretty not good. And all this is to say that the movie is far better than the sum of its parts. It's worth a watch in every single way. For me, at least, an 8 out of 10. It made me feel. Now, let's jump into spoilers. Indy's owner is sick with what I'm 99.99% sure is some form of cancer. It seems to run in the family. His grandfather died of it. At the farm, Indy's owner watches old movies of his grandfather talking more about his disease and what it does to you. And you see the grandfather deteriorate in real time. And that's when we want to bring this whole thing full circle with Bandit, the grandfather's dog that was never found. Bandit often seems to be showing Indy around and helping him maneuver the house, while also kind of coercing him into finding a bandana, bloody bandana. At this, Indy sees visions and is scared and hides. We're often left seeing a monster seemingly covered in mud as it stalks Indy and his owner, but as time goes on, it becomes very clear that this monster is more of a metaphor for the cancer and how it's slowly eating away at Todd. Cancer and the treatment, the chemotherapy, it changes you, it causes mood swings, it makes you act in ways that you typically never would. It's also insane at how much empathy we feel for Indy, but I really got tired of Todd's shit real quick. I'm sorry if that sounds mean, I hold it against him that he went out somewhere where it's very possible he could pass, and what would happen to Indy? Like, you owe that dog a responsibility. Maybe that's just me. Look, and only 73 minutes long, this movie moved at a pretty brisk pace, actually, but it was worth it. Spoilers for very dark themes. Todd eventually sets on a self-deletion. He leaves Indy outside with food and water while he goes inside and swallows some pills. As the camera finally focuses in on Todd's face for the very first time in the entire film, it becomes clear Todd has crossed over. In the end, Indy is able to make it to Todd's side as he's taken by death. He even pulls Todd out of this weird crevice in the basement, kind of like where you go to die. He pulls him out, but Todd tells Indy, "You're a good dog, but you can't save me." And Todd goes away. He passes, or his spirit, I guess, is taken. Now, Vera arrives, Todd's sister, who is seen a little bit throughout the film. She's the secondary, I guess, character. Arrives and looks for Todd, discovers Todd's body, and is then looking for Indy. Indy goes to her after one final push from Todd as he whistles, kind of giving Indy permission. Go with Vera. Go live your life. It's going to be okay. Which is actually a very nice sentiment, considering the fact that Bandit was actually found trapped between the cellar doors and the door to the basement, right? That's where Bandit died. And honestly, that's horrible. But Indy chose life instead of sticking around with his owner like Bandit did. Not to be mean, just again, an observation. Bear in mind, everything I'm telling you is all too brief. It's a very basic breakdown of the themes at play in Good Boy, along with the heartfelt story of loss and coming to terms with your mortality. It's a really good movie. But that's it. What did you think of Good Boy? Let us know down below. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll catch you all next time. See you, everybody.